Alright, okay, so we're going to keep building up a little bit more complicated, So in this case here we have an a value of 2, and we have a c value of a fractional -7/2, -3.5. So again, to complete the square, we need a to be 1 and we need c to be 0. So let's get us there. Y equals 2x squared plus 6x minus 7/2. So we're going to add 7/2 to both sides. This is going to get you a little bit more comfortable with fractions. The more you do them, the more comfortable you'll get. So you're just adding it to both sides. So you get 2x squared plus 6x, and now c is 0. I need to get a to be 1, so I'm going to divide everything by 2, and on the left side I'll just divide the whole thing by 2. And the reason I'm doing that is because I know I have to then eventually re-multiply it to get y alone. So why do a lot of complicated math when I can just leave it like that? So this leaves you x squared, 6 divided by 2 is plus 3x plus blank equals my y plus 7/2 all over 2 plus blank. Now that blank, of course, is half of my b value squared, which is 9/4. So I'm going to add 9/4 to both sides, and again, I'm just going to leave them like this, because eventually I'm going to have to undo it all to get y alone. So the right side I know is x plus half of my b value, all quantity squared, equals y plus 7/2 all over 2 plus 9/4. And now I'm going to get y alone by undoing each thing I did before. So I'm going to now subtract 9/4 from both sides. Next step, I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So I get y plus 7/2 equals 2 times the quantity x plus 3/2 squared. So I multiply that term. Multiplying 9/4 by 2, I get minus 9/2. And now to get y alone, finally I have to subtract 7/2 from both sides. So I get y equals 2 times x plus 3/2 quantity squared minus 9/2 minus 7/2 is minus 16/2, which is otherwise known as minus 8. So I'm going to take that vertex form version of my equation and move it to where it says vertex form. I know my y-intercept already because it was my original c value in standard form. So that was 0, -7/2. So let's graph that. Let's make sure we have all the right points. I'm going to zoom in a little so you can see what I'm doing. So my y-intercept was -7/2, which is -3.5, right there. I know it has a positive a value, and I know my vertex now to be -3/2, comma -8. -3/2 is -1.5, -8. So right there. Does it make sense? Well, with my jump values, I went over 1, up 1, times my a value, which is over 1, up 2. Then I go over 1. Instead of 3, I'm going to go up 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in fact, I know exactly where that x-intercept is. It falls exactly on 1/2, comma 0. And I could use my jump patterns over here to mirror what I've done to find that the next one lies at did I do that right? That doesn't look right. Let's try that again. There. And there. Which is that symmetric? I guess that's the question I have to ask myself. -1.5 to 1/2, I have to travel 2. So likewise, I should be traveling 2 to get to the next spot. Am I doing that? Over 1 over 2. So it should actually be a 3.5. So where did I go wrong? Over 1 over 2 over 1 over 2. Okay, so, oh, I know, because because I was trying to mirror the y-intercept, and that's not right. So over 1 up, all the way up to there. So I know that is negative 7/2, or negative 3.5 comma 0. So that's one way, right? And I know my line of symmetry is x equals negative 3/2. It's the x value of the vertex. So I could be done here if you'd like me to. And if you'd like to stop, that's fine. I'm going to show you how I'm going to convert vertex form to find those same intercepts. So using vertex form, y equals 0 at the x-intercepts, 2 times x plus 3/2 squared minus 8. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. 8 equals 2 x plus 3/2 squared. And then divide everything by 2. So I get 4 equals x plus 3/2 squared. And now I take the square root of both sides. So I get plus and minus 2 equals x plus 3/2. So I subtract 3/2. And you might at this point be asking me, why am I just not using a decimal? Well, sometimes the decimal version that I get here isn't exact, and so I want to stay as exact as I can. So I get plus and minus 2 minus 3/2. So the plus version, plus 2 minus 1.5 is minus 0.5 minus 1/2, and the minus 2 minus 3/2 is minus 3.5, 0, which is, if I move this up, should be exactly matching. In fact, oh, that should be negative. Should be positive. Did I mess that up? Sometimes when I go too fast. Plus 2 minus 1.5 is in fact positive 1/2. So, those are in fact your solutions.